Hey friends, today I want to talk about finding your calling. I think this is never an easy thing to do. When I was younger, I remember I kept trying to figure out what it was I was called to do, what I was supposed to be doing. Didn't have a clue. Spent a lot of years just wandering around aimlessly, just trying to make money, not even trying to figure out what my calling was. Then in 2015, I had finally graduated from school. And I thought I knew what I wanted, and I realized that I had no clue what I wanted. I majored in business management. I was working at a hotel at the time, and I just was like, oh, okay, I'm in the hotel industry. I got my degree in business management. I'm gonna go into management. And I remember I went to go interview. I'll never forget this. I went to go interview with a competitor who had an opening. And during the interview, I was like, this is not for me. Because I saw the lady the girls who were interviewing, there was two girls who were interviewing me. And I felt like I could relate to them. And they just were so miserable. And I was like, that's going to be me in 2 years if I get this job. I'm going to be miserable if I keep on staying in this job. And there's no offense to that job. Many people love it. It pays very well. But for me, I'd grown out of customer service. But that's all I knew. I mean, I started off in retail and then banking and then hotel industry. And I was just at a point in my life where I didn't want to do it anymore. And I didn't really have a direction, and I didn't know what I was going to do to make money. And I kept desperately trying to control and force my calling. I was just trying to do everything. Like, I just didn't know what to do, and I was just frustrated. And finally I was like, you know what, I'm done trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing in my life. So what I did is I had money saved. I quit my job and I decided to go traveling for a few months and just be like, whatever, I'm just gonna enjoy my life and live it up and just be free for a few months. And it was great. And I went traveling for 3 months. I came back and I still had no clue what I wanted, but I felt more relaxed about it. I think because I had just time, like me time, to just be me and not be stressing out about it so much. And I just quit trying to control the outcome of where I was going to wind up and what I was going to do, and I kind of surrendered. And I just got my resume out there. I didn't really know what I was looking for, but I kept looking and looking and looking, and finally there's a position that opened, and I was like, I want this job. Like, this is the one I wanted. And it just was really good vibes from the moment I saw it to the first phone interview to, I had 3 interviews, I think, till my hire date till now. Like, I just had really good vibes. And I'm just glad that I surrendered and I quit trying to control things, and I just eased up and winded up where I'm at. Because it just was a completely different way of doing business. It was different than anything I've known. So now I'm in the nonprofit sector and I really enjoy it. I believe in the work we do. And I think if I were to give anyone advice to find their calling, is to just follow your curiosity, because that's what's going to lead you to learning more about who you are and figuring out what direction you want to go to. And I don't really have it completely figured out yet, but I do know the direction in which I want to go. To me, working in the nonprofit sector, we work with many different fields across the board, and I just found myself gravitating to the environment and environmental issues. And I don't know exactly where I want to be, but I do want to go into that direction. And I'm learning, as you guys know, in my YouTube channel, I'm learning filmmaking, and I'm becoming almost obsessed with it. And I feel like I just want to do work that I feel like I want to do work that matters, and I want to make a difference. And I feel like through filmmaking and documentaries, like, that's a way to really, that's one way to make a difference. I think that there's so many different ways you can make a difference, but for me, like, I feel like that's the direction in which I really want to go to. And once I kind of figured out the direction in which I wanted to go to, then I had to work up enough courage to actually start doing something about it, because it can be scary and overwhelming to be doing something new and completely different than anything you know, and especially if you had no training or education about it. So it's like, I think a lot of times we kind of psych ourselves out and we're just like, well, if I don't have a degree in doing that, then who am I to do it? But I think it's just going forward with your curiosity and getting yourself more engaged and involved with whatever it is that you feel passionate or curious about, and just going forward and staying in a growth mindset and just allowing yourself to be in that space of not knowing what you're doing, but to continue with it. And even though sometimes you feel overwhelmed with it, you just keep going forward. You just keep moving forward with it. So I don't know if I found my calling yet, but I am at a good place where I feel really inspired about my future. I'm really excited about the possibilities of what could possibly be in front of me if I just take the time to really learn more about my passion, which right now is filmmaking and mostly storytelling. Storytelling, I think, is fascinating because for years, centuries, I mean, I think as far back as you can trace humans, I think we storytell. I think that's a way of passing on, especially in the Hawaiian culture, that's a way to pass on our history, is through oral chants or dance or just telling stories. And I'm just fascinated by it. And right now I just really want to get better at it. So the more I talk on here and the more visual videos I make, the better I'll get. And I'm just happy to finally be at a place where I'm hungry to learn more about something and just kind of really immerse myself into it. And in the ending of 2017, I found myself to be in a pretty depressed place. And I just really was praying to the Lord to give me something that I could just immerse myself in. And I think I've found it. And I'm just so fascinated by this whole storytelling. And I will continue to do it. And I know I will get better. And I'm just going to keep on going in that direction. So, if you don't know what your calling is, if I were to give you advice, it's just to keep following your curiosity and just keep doing whatever it is that you are hungry to do. Yep. Thanks for watching.